It's a global phenomena that is a stark reality for the human family. The reality that as life is enjoyed, as life is cherished, as life is thrilling and exciting, we have been crippled and affected by the realities of death and loss. This is a sad reality. However, as friends come together and meet and share, it is absolutely not abnormal that topics related to death and loss comes into the conversation. And that is simply what happened today. Sitting and chatting with a friend that is dear to me, just having usual girl chat, sister chat, and there we are having those conversations about death and loss. Very unpredictable, but as I said before, it is not an unusual reality. So in this vlog, in order to preserve the integrity of the persons whose story we share, I am choosing to do a voiceover rather than sharing the raw and uncut content. However, as you see, I will simply let the video run. I will simply let the video run as I share the story or excerpts of what we were talking about and sharing about. Again, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, this YouTube channel, I'm encouraging you to give it consideration. Consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. Yours truly, DKC. Alright? If you are a returning subscriber, as I always say, you are the real deal. We appreciate that you come back and you interact with this YouTube family. If it's your first time, my appeal goes out to you again. Just consider subscribing. Consider liking the video if you appreciated the content. And by all means, interact with the community and myself by sharing your feedback in the comment section. So, just a little bit about what we were chatting about. Conversation building and death and loss became part of what we started talking about. And in it, we shared the experience of losing 3 women that we all loved. We both loved. All right? One of them is losing a dear colleague of mine very suddenly and shockingly. Second person that we spoke about is losing my dear mom, right? And the third person we spoke about is my friend. She spoke about the loss of her dear daughter, right? But in all of this, guys, we were able to speak about this at a time when the trauma of the loss has passed pretty much, and we were able to have a conversation from which we were able to share, to encourage, to just listen and pull out life lessons that we could apply in our personal lives so that we can really learn from loss and learn from death, even while we wait for death to be removed forever. All right, so years ago, I would have been awakened by one of my own colleagues, but to a phone call, letting me know that one of my own colleagues had passed. Can you imagine what that would have felt like? That wake-up call. A person vibrant, a person full of life, full of energy, and a lot to contribute. A person who valued education and valued the youth, and a person who cherished a relationship with God. A person who enjoyed talking about the Bible and having healthy conversations about the Bible. That one day you will wake up to learn that after talking to her a few hours ago, that she is no more. And that was a reality for me. It was shocking beyond, because it is just not that thing that you could conceptualize when you last saw someone with such vibrancy and excitement about life. You know, so, but I was able to share that experience with her, you know. And then, of course, we ended up chatting a bit about my mom and the loss and the loss of her, right? Because, you know, we were just comparing how shocking it was for me to get that phone call about my colleague, but experiencing a slower progression of loss, where you see someone being sick and gradually and surely progressing in a decline, somehow takes away that layer of shock, even though I must say you are never fully prepared for this, right? But I described it to my friend that for me, that level of shock wasn't quite there, even though I really and truly did not expect my mom to die that night, right? So, but it was really shocking. Maybe another day I may be able to share some more details if, you know, if that ever becomes a reality, right? But we definitely spoke about the loss of my mom. She's very dear to me. She was very dear to me, and I keep looking forward to seeing my mom again in the resurrection. You know, I wrote a lovely poem 1 year after the death of my mom, and that poem really speaks about the persons in my mom's family, including her mother and father, who would have died. And that poem would continue to reassure me and my family that we will see them again. And this hope that we share is simply based on the facts presented in what we consider to be the authority, right? The authority for understanding, the authority for providing hope, which is the Bible. But again, you may or may not know, I am a Christian, so yes, I believe in all that the Bible says. But this channel is not going to be about sharing religious ideas, not necessarily talking about the Bible, not necessarily getting into politics. Well, I will not be getting into politics in any way. But the realities of life as we experience it every day, definitely you could look out for seeing maybe a little bit of my spiritual life within the vlogs, but it's not going to predominate. All right? Right, so, well, after we shared that, of course, we would have shared a bit about how my friend lost her daughter, her precious daughter, and, that was also a sad reality. But again, as I said, we were happy to have this conversation at a time when emotionally it was one that we could definitely have and pull out the lessons from. Yes, so again, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. That way our community would grow, and that way we will continue to be able to have these conversations, share encouraging stories, and just continue to contribute to how this channel grows and progresses. All right? Consider subscribing. And you could pause the video. Feel free to pause the video and just like, right? And consider leaving a sweet, encouraging comment. All right? Feel free to interact with us. Tell us, please, about maybe a story of loss that you would like to share in whatever way, right? If you would like to share the relationship of the person whose loss affected you the most, let's just say if you think the loss of your mother was the most tragic for you, you could share it, right? And by all means, whatever lessons you have personally learned from that loss, you could also share your experience. All right? However, please keep the comments positive and encouraging. Right? So I guess that was basically what our chit chat was about. And just to bring it back on a lighter note, you would have noted we were just having breakfast. We were actually having an American breakfast in a Caribbean household. Yes, when I say an American, a typical American street food style breakfast. Hot dogs, traditional hot dogs with that hot dog bun, and I think it's called franks in the US, right? So we put the hot dogs in the bun, and we normally use onions for those who like onions, and you will do your cabbages. But for us, we used onions. For the first time, my friend encouraged me to use sweet peppers, which I've never had in a hot dog, but it was truly an interesting combination. And because we did not have ketchup, we had the hot dogs without ketchup. And honestly, I think going forward, I'm going to have my hot dogs without ketchup. Right? Mustard was just perfect. Yeah, so that was breakfast. That was breakfast chit chat. And of course, that lovely cup, I'm going to have to get one like it. I was just having coffee. Very mild coffee with milk, slightly sweetened, and all of it was prepared by love. So I want to just thank my friend Dawn for having me over for this short time in Trinidad. And even though I promised to give you the optometrist vlog, I just decided to do this one as it occurred in reality in this particular order. And I'm going to definitely take you along to my optometrist visit, which is tomorrow. So look out for that vlog and enjoy. Yes, so we acknowledge that these conversations are never the easiest to have, but these conversations come up. They come up ever so often, right? Especially when someone loses someone, and we have to go into that reflective mode where we have to consider how we are going to share and encourage, how we are going to probably have to share a bit of our story in order to provide consolation if necessary, right? So it's just that reality that comes up, right? So if you have not subscribed to the channel as yet, please consider subscribing to the channel. Consider liking the video if you appreciated the content, right? And if you didn't appreciate this content and there's something else you would like to see in the vlogs, maybe you could suggest. You can never tell if your contribution might just be what is needed in order to allow the audience to enjoy what they are seeing. All right, any tips and suggestions, share it with me. But definitely today this topic was that type of topic, but we are happy that you stayed along. Thanks for viewing the video to this point. And I know some of the things that we're sharing were not coming out with the right emotions in the video because, again, I'm doing a voiceover, and when I put probably a little smile, when I looked a little more sad, the video may not be meshing with those emotions. But again, it's just a voiceover, so my apologies. Hope it doesn't offend anyone, right? But by all means, interact with us. Tell us in the comment section, have you experienced loss, right? And if you would like to share a little excerpt, you may in the comment section. If you would like to just mention the relationship you have had with the person whose loss was dearest to you, maybe you can share. You could tell us whether it was your aunt, whether it was your uncle, whether it's your mom or your dad or your granddad. Let us know, if you are so willing to share. And it's going to help us to really recognize that none of us are alone in this journey of loss and recovery and grief, and again, I would say recovery, right? So so let us be a support to each other. Continue leaving sweet comments. Let's validate each other's loss by just giving a like to each person who shared their story of loss, so that everyone could feel appreciated and their story could be validated in the fact that we acknowledge that we were able to learn of that loss and be an encouragement to the person. All right, if you're experiencing loss in this very moment, our hearts go out to you, right? And condolences must be expressed to you and your family, right? Because recently one of my own colleagues would have lost her precious mom, and that continues to be the current situation where that family will be going through that process of loss and grief. And again, my condolences are extended to the family and to my dear colleague who again is experiencing the loss of her mom who have experienced the loss of her mom most recently. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a part of this vlog, and interact with us in the comment section. Please consider subscribing. Subscribe, and that way you will be able to enjoy content as they are uploaded. And thank you for looking at the video to this point. Always consider looking at our videos to the end. All right, and I wish you all a wonderful day today. If you're looking at this vlog in the night, have a good night rest. See you tomorrow. See you in the next vlog. And continue to put a smile on your face. There's a lot to be grateful for. As much as there is loss, there is healing, there is emotional support of friends, and there is a lot of hope in what the Bible says, pretty much, right? So, see you in the next vlog. Take care. Love you all. Peace out. Enjoy the music.